Jazzcast Pros.
Today we're going to talk about etiquette faux pas around the dining table, especially if you've been invited by a business constituent or as a job interview. I want to share with you the do's and don'ts because I've been getting a lot of questions around dining etiquette, interview dining etiquette, or business dining etiquette. And also, you guys have been saying, Dr. Pamela, it is time for us to hear from you. I wanted to let you know that I am answering the call. Okay, so here I am. And tonight, we are going to talk about dining etiquette, do's and don'ts while on a job interview. Welcome to Grace and Grind, the podcast redefining what it means to act like a lady, but think like a boss. I'm your host, Dr. Pamala Brown-Grinion, certified executive coach and internationally credentialed etiquette, manners, and life skills expert with the British School of Excellence. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever gone on any type of dining experience with family or friends and you were just flabbergasted at the skills, the dining etiquette, and dinner mannerisms of the people that you were eating with? Well, as an etiquette coach, I'm sure you can understand that that is one of my biggest pet peeves. Okay? I want you to have the best dining etiquette that you can have. I want you to be able to exhibit the best dining mannerisms that you can portray. With that in mind, we are going to jump right into dining etiquette faux pas. All right? Faux pas number 1, arriving too early or too late. If you are the host or the interviewer, you want to make sure that you are there before your guest arrives. If you are the guest, you do not want to arrive more than 10 or 15 minutes early, giving the person that invited you enough time to get there. Also, whatever you do, do not arrive late. If you come on time, you are late. So try to arrive no more than 10 to 15 minutes early. And you don't have to come into the restaurant at that time. Just make sure you are at the location. Come into the restaurant 5 to 10 minutes early. Preferably 5. But that window of 5 to 15 to make sure you are parked in the parking lot. You have time to go to the restroom, powder your nose, refresh your lipstick, take off your lipstick and put on lip gloss. Whatever you need to do to prepare yourself for the interview should be done prior to the start time. Faux pas number 2, dressing inappropriately. If this is a business dinner, then you certainly must come suited and booted. By that, I mean dressed to the nines, okay? You should be groomed meticulously. You should have a blazer on. If there are any men listening, you should have on a button-down shirt, a tie, and a blazer. Ladies, you may wear a dress, a skirt, or slacks with a blouse, but it looks a bit more professional and refined if you too will put on a blazer. If you notice, I'm always in a blazer if I'm presenting or if I'm going somewhere that is business related. This is just my look. I'm going to have a blazer on because I think it just looks so finished and so polished, especially if you have good posture. Faux pas number 3. Where do you place your purse and cell phone? Well, I can tell you that it does not belong on the table. If you're not eating it or using it for dinner, it should not be on the table. Okay? Your cell phone should be in your purse on vibrate. Your purse should be small enough that it can fit right behind you in the chair, because you will not be sitting with your back all the way to the chair. Your purse should be small enough so that it fits in back of you in the chair. And if your cell phone is in the purse, you won't be tempted to look at it if it vibrates. Because when you do that, you send a really bad message to your guest or the people that you're dining with that you are not enough. Your company is not enough. I'm bored with you. I would rather speak to the person that's calling me. I'm not interested in what you're saying. And you can't give the person your undivided attention if you are engaged in a text conversation or a phone call. Now, if you are expecting a call, you can say, I'm expecting a call from my child's sitter. My child is not feeling well. If I receive the call, I need to excuse myself for a few moments and then I will return. But do put your host on alert that you may receive a phone call, okay? Otherwise, your phone will be in your purse, in the back of you, in the chair. Faux pas number 4. Elbows should not be on the table. Only your forearms are permitted to have any contact with the table. Never elbows on the table. If you don't know what to do with your hands, it is quite acceptable to have your hands in your lap. Now, I'm a person, I talk with my hands. So I like my hands to be free when I'm dining, when my utensils are down and I'm at rest. I tend to talk with my hands. So it's okay if your hands are in movement, but never with elbows on the table. Faux pas number 5 is not knowing proper napkin placement. As soon as you sit at the dining table, your napkin should go in your lap. You should drape your napkin in your lap. Okay? As soon as you sit down, the napkin goes in your lap. Your napkin is only removed when you're wiping your mouth. If you have to be excused to the restroom, then you would take your napkin, kind of gather it like so, place it to the left side of your plate or on the back of the chair. I know some etiquette coaches say to put your napkin in the seat. I am not a proponent for leaving a napkin that I'm going to use on my mouth in a seat where there have been many other rear ends before mine. So I tend to take my napkin and just gently drape it on the backside of my chair. And then when I return it to my lap. Also, when you're wiping your mouth with your napkin, it should not be in a swooping, swiping motion. It should be gently, gently dab, dab, dab. Remember, ladies, always keep it cute and demure. Keep it cute and demure at all times. Okay? And when you're done dining, you would take your napkin gently like so, place it to the left side of your plate, never in your plate. Don't cover the plate with the napkin. Place it to the left of your plate, and that will indicate to the servers that you are done dining. You do not have to say, I'm finished. You do not have to push your plate to signify you're done. Just simply take your napkin, place it at the left side of your plate to indicate that you're finished dining. Faux pas number 6, ordering too much or too little. Now, if you are the guest of someone, or if you have been invited for a dinner interview, please follow the lead of the host, okay, of the interviewer. If the interviewer places an order for $50, you would not place an order for $75. Follow the cues of the interviewer to tell you what your price points are. If it's a 3-course meal, keep it as a 3-course meal. Don't elongate it into a 5-course meal because you want to have some other things, okay? Save that for another day. Save that for a date with your boo, all right? This is not that. Don't turn it into that, okay? And the other thing you need to remember is ordering too little, also not acceptable. Follow the promptings of the host or the interviewer. Okay? You would not come to a dinner and your host is having a 3-course meal and you say, I'm only going to have a Caesar salad. All right? That gives many types of cues that you do not want to send. Do you think you're too pretty to eat? Ordering small portions can also signify that you're weight conscious. And no one needs to know if you're weight conscious, okay? Order in line with the host or the interviewer, okay? In this case, we do not need to keep it demure or cute. Follow the promptings of your host or hostess, all right? Faux pas number 7, not waiting for everyone to be served before you start eating. Big no. Now, the only time this is acceptable is when your host says, it's okay, go ahead, mine is coming right out. And then you kind of have to make a judgment call. Am I going to eat or am I going to wait? Now, if you decide to eat, understand, you may finish before everyone else. You may finish before the host. So what I tend to do is I tend to say, it's okay, I'll wait. That way we can eat at the same time. That is quite acceptable unless your host insists. No, I insist. Then you don't want to come across as rude. So you would honor the wishes of the host and just begin eating. But pace yourself so that you don't finish too soon before the host, okay? Now, faux pas number 8, using the wrong utensils. I know that sometimes when you sit at a table and you have 3 forks and 2 spoons and 2 knives, it can be a little difficult in knowing which one to use. Very simple. Start from the outside in. Your salad fork and your salad knife are going to be on the outside. Your main entree fork, your main entree knife is going to be on the inside. So just keep that in mind. The rule of thumb is outside in. If you can remember outside in, you will never go wrong. Outside in. Moving right along to faux pas number 9, cutting your food incorrectly. I have 3 things to say about that. Number 1, you do not cut your food up like a toddler in 15 little pieces, okay? 1 to 2 pieces, that's acceptable. Anything more than that, unacceptable. Number 2 would be cutting your food in large pieces so that when you put it in your mouth, your cheeks, you look like a squirrel. We're not hoarding food for the winter, so we don't have to do that, and there is no hurry. Remember to enjoy the food. Remember to enjoy the conversation with the person that invited you. If you eat too fast, you can't really enjoy the food. So just take your time, bite-sized pieces, 1 to 2 pieces cut at a time. And also, do not cut your food between the tines of the fork. These prongs on the fork are called tines. Your knife never goes between the tines, okay? Your knife never go between the tines. Never. Never, never, never. Did I say never? Oh yeah, that's probably because I really mean never. Your knife never goes between the tines while cutting up your food. Faux pas number 10, eating bread incorrectly. This is one of my deal breakers. I cannot stand to see adults, professional adults that should know better, sitting at a dining table and they butter their bread like they're making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. If you want to get under my skin, do that. Okay? one of my deal breakers. So you say, Dr. Pamela, I've been eating my bread like that all of my life. How am I supposed to eat my bread? Let me tell you, it is not buttering it like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. What you would do is take one bite-sized piece at a time. Use your butter knife, take a small pat of butter, butter your one bite-sized piece of bread, gently put it in your mouth, replace your knife back to your bread plate, and chew. That's it. Very simple. Bite-sized pieces at a time. Okay? Now, we are going to jump into number 11, which is another one of my pet peeves. I cannot stand to see someone's food while I'm dining with them. Please chew with your mouth closed. Do not drink until your food has been properly chewed and dissolved. And please, whatever you do, do not smack. I have to tell my granddaughter Cassidy this all of the time. Cassidy, stop smacking. And you know what she does? She'll look at me with her face like I would look at her. And then she will put her lips together and chew while giving me the look. Like I know how to do that. Your mouth should always be closed while you are chewing. That will alleviate the smacking. Chew with your mouth closed, and whatever you do, do not talk with food in your mouth. Also, when you're drinking, please do not sit at the table and take the cup of the person to the left of you. Your stemware, your drinkware is always going to be to the right of you, right above your knives. Not to the left of you, to the right of you. And I know you've probably been to a reception or something of that nature, and it's happened to me. Someone to the right of me has taken my drinkware because they don't know that their drinkware is to the right. So they would take mine. Okay. So just remember that your drinkware is to the right. This is a great way to remember it. B-E-D. Bread on your left. Entree for E, D, drinks on the right. Okay? Quick rule of thumb, easy to remember, bed, B-E-D. Okay? The other thing with drinking is you should drink from the same place on your glass. Ladies, you should not look like you've been making out with your stemware. You should not have a trail of lipstick all around the glass. You drink from the same place all the time. Notice when I put my lips to my glass, where my eyes went. Into the glass. This is the bowl. This is the stem. This is the base. When you have a glass like this, it's stemware, and you always hold stemware by the stem. Okay? By the stem. Also, do not drink with food in your mouth because the person that you're dining with will be able to see your food. Also, you can leave little particles of food in your drink when you do that. So always wait until your food has been completely chewed and dissolved before you take a sip from your beverage. Faux pas number 14, reaching across the table. Don't do it. If you want something that is too far from you and it's more than an arm's reach, ask someone to pass it to you. Now, what you would not ever do is, as it's being passed, you would take it and start using it. You would pass it to the person that has asked for it. And then if you'd like it, you simply ask for it. The other thing is, it's just more polite to just ask to have it passed to you versus your sleeve going in the salad dressing or moving across the bread. It's more sanitary if items are passed to you and you don't infiltrate the other items that are on the table that is used for public consumption. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Faux pas number 15, failing to use common courtesies. when someone passes you the salt and pepper, please say thank you. When you're asking for the salt and pepper, please say, may I please have the salt and pepper? Will you please pass the salt and pepper? Always use your common courtesies. May I please have the salt and pepper? Will you please pass the salt and pepper? Okay? Faux pas number 16. Discussing controversial topics. Now, what topics are no-nos? We all know what they are. Politics, religion, money, and sex. No-nos at the dinner table. And you certainly would not want to be talking about your sexcapades with someone that's interviewing you. So keep those conversations at home and not in public places with the person who you may end up working for in the future. Okay? Now, faux pas number 17, overindulging in alcohol. My rule of thumb is no alcohol on business dinners. Because when you drink alcohol, you become too giddy, you become unprofessional, you may become too talkative, and you may say things that you had not intended to say had you refrained from the alcohol. So, rule of thumb, if you're on a business interview, no alcohol. Now, faux pas number 18, leaving the table without excusing yourself. And I kind of covered this a little bit earlier. If you have to be excused to go and take that phone call, excuse yourself. If you need to be excused to go to the restroom, excuse yourself. Just simply say, excuse me. Leave the table, put your napkin on the back of the chair or to the left of the table, go and handle your business and come back. A few other tips that you need to remember is, if you have to sneeze or cough or do anything that may excrete any type of bodily fluids, please use your napkin to do that. So if you're going to cough, you're going to cough by turning your head. If you're going to sneeze, you're going to turn your head, and you're also going to say, excuse me, after you're done. Place your napkin back to your lap. If you have to pick your teeth or put on lipstick, please go to the bathroom. Never, ever, ever relieve yourself. And you guys know what I mean when I say that. Never, ever, as my grandmother would say, pass your manners at the dining table. Please excuse yourself and go to the bathroom. So we've covered dining etiquette faux pas. I've given you lots and lots and lots of tips and strategies to use. Please do not forget them. And if you do, reach out to me. I am just a phone call or an inbox message away. Okay? My handles on all social media is I am Dr. Pamala. That's IAMDRPAMALA. Same handle on all social medias. If you would like to schedule a one-on-one or group session for your organization, please give me a call at 585-454-9827. I offer in-person and online programs. So please check out my website at www.totally-nique.com to schedule your appointment or simply give me a call. It's been great as usual. Thank you so much for listening to the Grace and Grind podcast. I hope that you enjoyed this segment on dining etiquette faux pas. And please remember to create your totally unique day. Until next time, be graceful while you're grinding. Ta-ta.